Hey guys, it's the garden girl Laura Craigie for twopeasindabucket.com. Today is another Seeing Double video, and I'm excited to do this today. I have a layout and a card for you guys, and I'm going to be incorporating visual triangles on my layout and using a bunch of primary colors. This is a quick look at the supplies that I pre-picked. I like to do this when I am working on a project. I pull everything so I have it gathered on my desk, and I'll use most of this, but not all of it. Like I don't use that glitter tape there, even though I love it. But I do use those heart dies. You'll see a fun technique using those. And the Doodlebug pins, and those are by Key & Company. They're for the Smash line. They're really fun. And these are some Hero Art stamps that I use on my card. I love birthday stamps because apart from thank you cards, it's definitely the card I make the most often. And these are some Echo Park stickers, some October Afternoon stickers, and then a collection of papers from a number of different lines. This one's what I use for my background paper, and it's by Dear Lizzie from the Lucky Charm line. I like using kind of neutral pattern papers like that as backgrounds. A couple papers from Echo Park. That one's from Pebbles, another Echo Park from the Scoot line. These are from the Boy Crazy from My Mind's Eye, and then some corrugated cardstock, which I don't end up incorporating on my page, but I really love it. So I've also got my photos and my journaling ready here. Cute little pictures of my middle son and his grandpa. And some thickers that I thought I'd use. I only end up using the Amy Tangerine ones. And these are a really fun product by Pebbles. They're basically a bunch of cards that are ready to go for you. There is a score line in the middle, and then they're perforated near the seam there. And they come in all sorts of just really great patterns and colors that are ready to go for you. And it's a great option if you're a card maker. I would definitely pick those up from the store. So again, this is the sheet that I want to use for my background. I'm going to start off, I think I'm going to do an 8.5 by 11 page at this point. I actually changed my mind and do a 12 by 12 layout, but here you can see I've started and I've got the 8.5 by 11 sheet. I kept that little red piece of the paper at the bottom because I thought it was really cute on the page. And that's kind of the general idea of where I want the journaling and the picture to go, but at this point I already realized that 8.5 by 11 is just feeling too small for this page. So I pulled out this Scoot paper from the Echo Park line. It's got the cute numbers on the back, and I actually only bought one of that paper, and I really love the numbers, but I also love the grid as a neutral background. So I'm doing something I don't often do, although I really should do more often, and I'm cutting out a large section from the back so I still have some of that cute numbered paper if I decide to incorporate it on my page. And because I already have the cardstock and the Dear Lizzie sheet on the other page when I thought I was doing 8.5 by 11, it's already getting really sturdy, so I'm not worried about cutting out this section and having a flimsy page because there's already been lots of layers on the page. I actually don't end up using the numbers on this this time around, but I know I can put them in my stash and use it on a future project because I just think they're ridiculously cute. So I'm just going to add a bit of adhesive to this background here so that I can adhere the former 8.5 by 11 page to this. And I already think this is just looking way better. Yeah, I'm definitely an equal opportunity scrapbooker. I tend to favor 8.5 by 11s, but I do love 12 by 12s too, and I find I've been doing a lot more of them recently. So I have kind of the general layout here going, and it's worked out really well because this is actually goes with the rule of thirds in that I have, well, a bit smaller of the third there, and I added the striped pattern paper there, and then the other 2/3 are already figured out for me. And I really love that striped paper. That's from the My Mind's Eye. And I have this cute die from Lawn Fawn. And I'm going to pull out my Cuttlebug and run that through. And I'm going to pull out another strip from the same striped paper here. And I'm going to do this. I think I end up running it through the machine maybe 6 times to get enough hearts. It's just super simple. You can see I just turn it through and there you go, a bunch of perfectly cut hearts. And I actually really love these dies, even more so than punches, because you don't end up with like frayed ends as the punch dolls. It cuts clean every time, and you get a lot, and it's really quick. So big fan of these dies by Lawn Fawn. So there you go, I've got a bunch of them there, and I'm just going to go ahead and kind of find a, not squishing them too tightly together, but putting a row there. And then I decide that I don't like the way those two papers meet, so I thought I'd cut a strip from this arrowhead paper and add that between them. I just think visually it kind of ties the two patterns together really well, and it just adds another fun pop of color to the page. So I can adhere that there, and I'll probably sew it down later at this point. Now I'm going to lay the hearts out as I said, and there you go, they're all laid out. And then what I'm going to do is grab my adhesive, and I'm going to use the American Crafts this to that in the little dots because it's not too sticky, and I'm okay with running that through my sewing machine because I know I'm going to sew through these hearts. So I'm just going to add a teeny tiny bit of adhesive a bit to the middle of the hearts because that's where I'm going to sew through, and I want the edges of the hearts to be poking up afterwards. So at this point I'm just adding it through, and I run it through my sewing machine. You can see kind of aiming to zigzag it through the center of the hearts, and then I'm just pushing up the edges of them. I may later add foam adhesive to them if they start falling back down, but at this point I'm just pushing them up with my fingers to get a bit of a texture. You can see there, it looks really cute, and I'm actually really happy with the way that turned out. So I'm going to head back to my photo here. I wasn't sure of the placement, so I just used my this to that as a little temporary, and then I used the ATG on the journaling because I was so sure it was going to go down at the bottom. I ended up keeping the photo where I place it, and that's fine. Next I have this little card that I cut out there from the boy Crazy sheet for My Mind's Eye, and these ridiculously cute mini little paper clips from Tim Holtz. They've actually been out for years, and I remember I got some in a swap like years ago, and at first I was like, well, what am I going to do with these things? I thought they were so silly, but now years later I've just come to love them, and I'm so glad they're still there. And I just think they're just such a cute embellishment on your page. So I am just going to adhere that one side down flat, and then the other side, because the hearts are all poking up, I want to add a bit of foam adhesive just so it sits a little higher. Kind of matches out everything else. And right now I have the start of one of my visual triangles with the red on the bottom and the red from that little die cut there. Or sorry, not die cut, but cut apart. And these are they're really cute. They're kind of like post-it notes. And again, these are for the Smash line from K & Company. And I'm just trying to find a good spot for them to go on the page. What I was kind of thinking here is I wanted to use red, and probably at this point I wasn't sure about adding another visual triangle, but I do end up adding another one. But you can see there, with having the red up there, I have the 3 points of red, and they're all around my photographs, so it's really just bringing your eye right to them, to what's important on the page. And when I was just starting out with scrapbooking, I know I would look at pages and I'd kind of wonder why they worked and why mine didn't always work. And slowly, this is one of the things that I learned, and I incorporated a lot in my designs. It takes the guesswork out of even when it comes to picking colors, because you'll find like that sometimes I often find that I'll have like 2 pieces of a triangle, and then I'll just feel like something's missing on my page, and often it's the 3rd point of a triangle, and then I can just add in the same color. And then right there I have 3 points for the red, and I just find visually it's really pleasing. And now I have 2 points for my green triangle, which I end up adding the 3rd piece later. And I'm just going to add some enamel dots here. They're one of my favorite things to add to the page just for different texture. And they're a lot of fun. And back to the triangles, as I was saying, I like to do them a lot with colors, but you can also do them with shapes or textures, and it's just getting 3 visual points, and your eye is immediately drawn to the center of them. And usually it's a good thing to do around a photograph because that's usually the most important part. And these stickers from Amy Tangerine I've had for a little while. They're starting to all fall apart there. You can see them pooling at the bottom. So I knew I wanted to use them up before they just became one big mess in the bottom. And because of that, I'm going to sew them down too, just because the adhesive is probably getting a bit dry. Because I've had this pack out for a while. So there's my title for the page up there, and I pulled out that wood veneer from Studio Calico, and I know I want to color it, and I'm going to do it with some embossing powder. And at this point I realized that, again, for my visual triangle, the green is going to be a smarter choice than any other color. So I'm just going to push it into some Versamark, and then I love to use my little, I don't even know what you call those things, my mind's pulling a blank on me, that little pokey thing, and it's great for holding the wood veneer on like that, and it even allows me to attach it, or sorry, to hold it on that when I'm using the heat gun so I don't burn my fingers. Piercing tool, that's the name. I always forget that. So yeah, just shove it on there, and then I'm able to pull out my heat gun and emboss that right up. And it's just a great way to color the wood veneers with all the fun embossing powders that American Crafts makes. So I'm a big fan of that. And it's going to fit perfectly in that little spot on my layout. And you can see there I have I'm pointing out I have the visual triangle of the red and of the green, and now they're both going, just drawing your eyes to the photograph. And of course they're in fun primary colors, and the theme of the month in the garden, if you hadn't already looked, you really should go look, for everything that came out on the first was beautiful colored layouts, lots of monochromatic things. And again, I'm trying to decide which card base I want to use from these Pebbles pads. I just love them. I've used them a lot lately, and I just find it's a easy way to get a quick card. So as I said, there you go, it's pre-scored and ready to go. And I'm going to pull back that last strip that I had of the striped paper from My Mind's Eye. And I'm going to have that as like a center strip across the card. But first I wanted to pick another one of these, and I thought the Boy Wonder was good. I'm always in need of boy birthday cards with 3 boys in the house. And I'm going to pull 3 more of those sticky guys there from the Smash line. And I just want to lay them up a little like that. I want them to fit in the size of the cut there. So I'm going to add a bit of adhesive on top so I can lay it down and have the size there just work. And so you can see my page, I thought, came together quite quickly for me because I was able to use the messing up there. I was able to use the design idea of the visual triangles, and I found it really just helped me pull things together. And I'm going to go with the same idea on the card here, using the same kind of primary colors as my accents, or as my focal point, sorry. And this point is when I'm going to use these super cute Hero Art stamps. And I'm just going to grab some short sentiment ones that'll fit on those little banners there. And I think I have yippee, hooray, and yay. And I'm going to make this a birthday card. So just pulling out some Stays-On ink and stamping them up. And figure out which one's going to work best on which flag here. This is my first time using these stamps, so I probably should have stamped them off first to get a bit of a cleaner impression, but they actually worked quite well. And I apologize, guys, today for my kind of awful choice of nail color. I let my 6-year-old pick it out, and it's really not the greatest. Not that you guys care, but yeah. So there's a little stamp for the inside of the card. And yeah, I'm going to get to the point of putting it all together now. I'm just going to add some adhesive foam to this for a bit of dimension, and go back to that striped paper and add that to the center of the card. And then when it comes time to adding the embellishment and sentiment that I've done, I actually line it up with the top of the pattern paper. In hindsight, now that my card's finished, I kind of wish I would have centered it, but what's done is done, and I really am happy with it either way, but just kind of niggles in the back of my mind that I wish I would have centered it instead. So now I want to add another one of these cute little Tim Holtz paper clips right there. And I'm going to add some of these little enamel dots just to the centers of the Boy Wonder thing. They're just no real purpose other than it looks cute. And I already had them out, ready to go. And at this point I want to pull back to, or sorry, once I'm done there, I decided at this point to get back to my visual triangles. And I know that I have the green of the yay, and then both the green at the top and bottom, which kind of works as a triangle, I guess, but I want to accent it some more. So I'm pulling out these doodlebug stickers. Sorry, my throat's getting a little sore. I'm actually sick. But anyhow, so I pull out these doodlebug stickers here, and I'm just going to add it right underneath the stitched border there that I added. I think I've said in my last video just how much I love these doodlebug border stickers. at $1.99 for me, it was a great buy for the colors as I use them so often. I'll just leave them on the sheet like that and cut off the little sections that I want. I especially love the little scallop borders. And so there I feel like I have a bit better visual for the three greens there. And I'm trying to incorporate these little stickers. It's just, I couldn't really find anything that was the right color or size. And I still really want something red to go with it. Because I have the hooray there and then that big red center for the boy. So actually in the end I end up pulling out those stickers again and pulling out a red one to go up at the top. Before I do that though, I decided I wanted to add one more green to kind of, instead of having the triangle be the top, the bottom in the little yay tab, I can have it go two ways and have another point being this hashtag in the middle. And I'm going to heat emboss out the exact same way I did the first one and adhere it to the card like that. I'm much happier with that little green guy in there. Just adds different texture and dimension to the card. And then I'm just going to tuck this tiny little circle one under there so it appears to be scallops instead of little circles. And cut off the excess and my card is done. Again, it was able to come together quite easily because I had all my products pre-picked and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Just zoom in so you can see there the heat embossing on the hashtag and everything else. So thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope I was able to kind of explain how a visual triangle works. If it's something that's new to you or not, you can add it into your designs, and that's my challenge for you guys for this week is to incorporate it and use color to draw the focus to your photographs on a layout and see if you can incorporate it on a card too. So again, thank you guys so much for watching this week. Have a great week, and I will catch you guys next time.